So, hello everyone, and welcome to this new BFDI What If? What if it was a contestant vote? So, for the first episode, of course, nothing changes at all. The squashy grapes still lose. So, let's get on with the elimination. So, the first thing that we have to point out here is that Coiny already has a new quote-unquote friendship with Ice Cube and Leafy. They already made bonding in this episode, which may help him in the future. So, Coiny definitely is voting for Flower since she didn't do anything. Flower is voting for Ice Cube because Ice Cube called her ugly some time ago. Golf Ball would definitely be voting for Snowball. Ice Cube would be voting for Flower. Leafy said in episode 6 that she didn't like Flower, so she'd be voting for her. Needle would vote for Flower. Rocky would, vote for Flower as well. Snowball would definitely be voting for Golf Ball. Teardrop would vote for Flower, and Tennis Ball would vote for Snowball. So Flower is eliminated. Yeah, the same contestant got eliminated. I don't see why anything would change, so the squishy cherries still lose. So in this elimination, it's pretty obvious. Everyone would target either Spongy or Woody. And even with the Alliance hating Blocky and quote-unquote the bros hating Bubble, I don't think they'd be that dumb to vote for them. So, Pen, Eraser, and Blocky vote for Woody, and Pencil, Match, and Bubble vote for Spongy. Now, Pen would obviously vote for Woody because we have seen she clearly dislikes him more, and Fiery would probably vote for Woody as well, since he can burn him. So yeah. And Spongy would probably vote for Pencil, and Woody would vote for Pin because of how she treated him. I think Pin would be a bit angry at the fact that Woody voted for her, and that would make her extremely happy that he's gone. But yeah, Woody's eliminated. Now for episode 3, it's definitely barely having any changes. Spongy would probably don't even be able to do the test since he doesn't have arms, so he doesn't affect the score, and the squishy cherries still lose. I think that Pen and Eraser would be a bit more open to the idea of voting for Bubble, but they tell Blocky that later, and now they'd get Spongy out. So yeah, basically everybody except for Spongy votes for him. And if you're wondering who'd Spongy vote, he's definitely voting for Pin. Again, Pin is mad about it, but For this episode, this is the cake baking one. Let's remember that Pen and Eraser bought cakes from Leafy. But since now Blocky wants cake as well, they don't have enough money. So then they have to bake the cake themselves, which actually gives the squishy cherries more points. I also think that Blocky is a fast eater for some reason, so I think the squishy cherries would also win, and they wouldn't need the tiebreaker, meaning the squashy grapes lose. Okay, so let's see how this game played out. As you may remember, what I told you about Coiny, Ice Cube, and Leafy getting closer, I think that still happened. And yeah, Coiny is friends with Snowball, so he votes with him for Golf Ball. Golf Ball vote with Tennis Ball, votes for Snowball. Ice Cube would probably get mad at Rocky. Rocky would probably barf on Ice Cube or something, and she'd want to get him out. And Leafy and her vote for him. And Needle would probably vote for Leafy for calling her needy too much. And Rocky would probably vote for, Tennis Ball. Yeah. And Teardrop would just vote for Rocky for being the weakest link. So yeah, Rocky is eliminated way earlier here. So it's now time for bridge crossing. Yeah, no one makes it, and the squishy cherries still lose. Alright, so this is where the real fun begins. Okay, so the bros would be expecting the Alliance to vote for Blocky, and the Alliance would be expecting the bros to vote for Bubble. So, but they ended up switching. So you may have realized that Pin and Match have been getting into a little bit of a conflict lately in these episodes. So Match would beg her Alliance to vote with Pin, and Pencil agrees to vote for Pin, And Blocky, instead of voting for Bubble, now seeing that Pin is voting against Match, they decide to vote against Match instead of Bubble, which leaves Fiery. He could vote for Match and get her eliminated, or vote for Pin and make a tie. I think that, considering how easily manipulated he is, he's kind of dumb. I think that Blocky would be able to manipulate him into voting for Match, so Match is eliminated. So for this episode, someone will have to switch over to the grapes. And I think that'll be Pin, considering how Leafy and her are in an alliance. So for the triple thing, Pin switches to the Squashy Grapes team. Actually, forever. The announcer says so because it's one of those quirky twists. So these are the new teams. So Coiny, Needle and Ice Cube, Leafy, Tennis Ball and Teardrop, Golf Ball, Pin and Snowball, Fiery, Bubble and Pen, Fiery and Eraser, and Blocky, Bubble and Pen and Pencil. So of course, Fiery's team makes it first, Leafy's team makes it second, and I think that even with their differences, I think that Blockies would want to win, And next, I think that Snowball would still push Needle, Coiny, and Ice Cube out of the way and manage to win. So for this elimination, I'm gonna let every single member of the Squashy Grapes vote. So first of all, Coiny would vote for Needle. As I said, he developed a friendship with Leafy and Ice Cube. I know this doesn't happen in the original, but I think considering it's a contestant vote, I think he'd be more outgoing and try to get more friends. So yeah, Coiny votes for Needle. Golf Ball would be probably voting for Coiny. Leafy votes for Needle, because Needle is the person that slaps Leafy the most. And I just mentioned Coiny's the friendship. Snowball would vote for Ice Cube. Teardrop would probably vote for Coiny, since she's kind of friends with Needle and just seems like she dislikes Coiny the most. Tennis Ball is friendish with Coiny, and I think he'd vote for Ice Cube, and Pin votes for Ice Cube. Oh, and I almost forgot. Ice Cube votes for Needle, and Needle votes for Ice Cube. So, Icy is eliminated. I guess her friendship with Leafy and Coiny didn't turn out well for her. Let's see if she even makes it to BFDIA. So, obviously, the Squashy Grapes win and pick Fiery, just like in the original. And same things happened in the running challenge. The Squashy Grapes win again. No surprise there. But who's rejoining? Remember, we have different eliminated contestants. So, whether it's a contestant vote or a challenge, Match is definitely winning. She's the most popular out of the eliminated contestants and is also the best at challenges. Well, Flower could probably beat her, but let's just say Match rejoins for the purpose of the timeline. And now it's time to split the teams up. Well, it'd be Leafy and probably Match? Yeah, that seems fair. So, just like in the original, Leafy starts, and she obviously picks Spin because they're in an alliance. So, considering Match's relationships with people, I think she'd pick Fiery. Yeah, that seems fair. Now, for Leafy, she's definitely choosing Teardrop. We have seen along the series that Leafy and Teardrop have a friendship, so yeah. And even if Match doesn't really get along with Tennis Ball, I think she'd pick him since he's someone intelligent. Now I think Leafy would choose Needle considering how she's athletic and that Leafy and her seems to have a somewhat okayish relationship. And against Fiery's wishes, Match picks Coiny because there's no way she's picking either Snowball or Golf Ball. Leafy would pick Snowball because of his strength, and then Match is now stuck with Golf Ball. I think that Pencil would actually try to ignore Match considering they're on different teams, and, that would cause her to be more concentrated and stuff. So, but I think that Match, instead of getting first, she gets second, her team, because she'd be too focused on Pencil. Anyways, the Squishy Cherries get first, and another name gets second. And because of Snowball, the Grapes lose. Yeah, of course, everybody except Snowball votes for him, and Snowball would probably vote for Teardrop considering she's the weakest. And for the Cherries, yeah, in the original, Blocky, Eraser, and Pen would vote for Snowball, Bubble would vote for Teardrop, and Pencil would vote for Snowball. So in this episode, I think that even without all of these contestants, they'd make it to the tie. So, yeah, even without Rocky, I think that another name would still get last because of Match's lack of concentration without Pencil, so they lose. So, of course, Coiny would vote for Fiery and vice versa, Match would vote for Golf Ball, and Golf Ball and Tennis Ball would probably notice the reason that their team lost would be Match, and both of them would vote for Match. So Match would be on the chopping block, and then there's a revote to decide who joins her in the voting for the cherries. So Coiny is voted by Fiery and vice versa. And for Golf Ball and Tennis Ball, yeah, Match still votes for Golf Ball. Tennis Ball and Golf Ball would probably vote for the weakest member of the team outside of them, lol. And that probably would be Fiery because of him not being able to be underwater and stuff. Okay, so I think that you might expect that Fiery just gets to the Cherries team, but I think that to add a little bit of spice, I think that we should make it so that Pencil and Bubble Pencil uses the fact that she voted for Snowball as a way for him to vote for Match. And, Pen seems, more of a chill person and would probably just vote for Match if he was asked to. So, yeah, Match joins the Cherries. Okay, let's all be honest. It's obvious that the Grapes are winning this Balloon Knot challenge, and that another name is losing. Yeah, it's obvious. You know what? Let's just not even go to the elimination arena. We can already see that. Tennis Ball and Golf Ball vote for Coiny, and Coiny votes for Golf Ball. And when the Grapes choose, they choose Coiny over Golf Ball, of course. So yeah. So, this is the end. In part 2, we will discuss the merge. So, stay tuned for when, part 2 comes out. So, yeah. Again, stay tuned. Bye.